Hey guys, it's Joe, and this is Pocket with Joe. We're going to be talking some NHL. So excited for today, you guys. We have a great battle on our hands between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Rangers. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning coming in here off tons of rest, but will that equal rest? Let's talk about this, but before we talk about it, let's look at what happened last night on the ice. Now, if you missed last night's game, was absolutely phenomenal. We had the Edmonton Oilers versus the Colorado Avalanche in game one of the series, with the Avs just moneymakers for us last night, getting an 8-6 win over the Edmonton Oilers. No matter how you took them, if you were taking the Avs anyway, you bet them last night, you would have made money. They did cover that puck line with an empty netter when the goalie was pulled in that. We did see Mike Smith pulled in that game last night. It was just a phenomenal game for the Colorado Avalanche, but a game that looked like Edmonton was going to tie up in those final minutes there. When the goalie was pulled, it was unbelievable. They weren't able to get that goal. Now, lots happened in this game. We'll talk more about game two tomorrow, but for today, let's jump in to this game between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Rangers. Now, we're seeing kind of fluid line movement here on the money line. It was minus 125 earlier for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now minus 130. We're seeing the New York Rangers moving from plus 105 to plus 110. And the total of 5.5 in this one. And yes, it is a low total, but rightly so. I highly, highly doubt that we will see a game like we did last night. We're looking at two top goalies with Vasilevsky and Igor Shesterkin here. And I think what we are going to see is the defenses step up for both of these teams. We know these teams can get the goals and the points on the board, but I'm not seeing them get the goals past either of these goalies here. Vasilevsky coming in with a 2.49 goals against average. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning on the season averaged 3.48 goals and 30.9 shots on goal, and they allowed 2.78 and 29.8 shots. While the New York Rangers, Igor Shesterkin is playing some of his best hockey, averaging a goals against average of 2.07. Now, on the season, the New York Rangers averaged 3.05 goals per game and 29.2 shots on goal. But they allowed that 2.49 and 30.8 shots. Now, when we look at these two teams, I'm going to tell you right away, I totally want the New York Rangers to win this series. I really do think if any team coming through between the Carolina and the New York Rangers series had the better chance of taking off Tampa Bay, it was the New York Rangers. So I am so excited to see them here in this matchup tonight. Now, I think their best ability to beat them is Igor Shesterkin. He is absolutely phenomenal. They have to play a smart game, though. They can't think that this is going to be easy. We know they don't. But when we look at them in the regular season, the New York Rangers have dominated over the Tampa Bay Lightning this season that we just had. They won all three of their games versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning are 1-4 in the last 5 meetings with the New York Rangers. And when we look at how the books undervalued the New York Rangers, because the underdog has won 4 of those last 5 meetings. I'm looking for a solid game out of New York. And I think we can look at this one or two ways. We can look at the New York Rangers coming in here off that win, a letdown spot, or we could look at this, they are rolling with momentum. And I think this team is rolling with momentum. I don't think this is a letdown spot. I think this is one where they completely dominate from the start. So why I think they dominate from the start, I look at Tampa. Yes, they are strong off of rest. But here's the thing. Off 3 days or more rest, they're 42-20 in their last 62 games, but they've had so much rest here. I think it's too much rest for this team against the Rangers, who have that momentum. They have that ability going into this game. They're high on themselves. They're riding with confidence in this game, where I think it's a hard place to come into New York for Tampa with what we're seeing out of New York right now. Do I think the Rangers win the series? I don't know if I'd go as far as saying that. I would love to see them win, I think this is going to be a hard series. I think this will go 2-6 or 7. I'm hoping it goes to 7 for sure, because if it goes to 7, it's because the Rangers have pushed it there. So what I'm going to take in this one is I think Vasilevsky and the Tampa Bay Lightning will come out a little cold. I'm going to be crazy and pocket. We're going to pocket, right? We're going to take the New York Rangers reverse puck line at -0.5 for the first period. Now, that first period, we've cashed this a couple times with them here, and I love it here in this spot. I think they will get an easy goal, a fluky kind of easy goal on Vasilevsky that he would stop 99.9% of the time. But I think it's been too long of a rest here. I think it works against Tampa in this situation. Even though they're strong off 3 or days more rest, I think this is too much. So I'm looking for that to hit in that first period. It's a sprinkle, you guys. Don't bet a lot on it, because I do think this one also stays under the total in the first period. We have a total of 1.5 in the first period, and under is -116. I think you can cash that one. Is the easiest of all bets for this first period. But I love the Rangers' opportunity to get that first puck in the net in that first period. I think we stay under the 5.5 for the full game. It is going to be a tough fought battle. I don't see it going over in this one. So, you guys, if I had to pick a side for this, I'm going to take the New York Rangers as well. I think this is, you know, you say steal it at home. It's hard to say someone steals it at home for sure. But I think they steal at home. No one's expecting them to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, just like no one expected them to beat the Carolina Hurricanes. You know, this is a pattern, and the Rangers are stepping up and saying, hey, look at us. We can get this done. So I can see them getting this win here at home tonight at +110. I love the value. And since I'm just going to ride high on the New York Rangers tonight, I'm going to look at Igor Shesterkin's saved shots on goal tonight, and I'm going to take it over. Now, it's coming in at 28.5 at -106 over on FanDuel, and I absolutely love him getting over 28.5 saved shots. We look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. They are averaging 30.9 shots on goal, and we see the New York Rangers defensively allowing that 30.8 shots on goal. So I do see everyone getting right around their average there. I don't think this is a high scoring one, so that's why I'm confident that he'll save over that 28.5. And then for some player props, it's hard to take player props in this game, you guys, because we're looking at a lower scoring one. If anyone is going to get an assist tonight or points on the board for the New York Rangers tonight, I'm looking at Adam Fox. He's hit his assists in 5 of his last 5 games at -106. We can get him over that 0.5. So I think that is a good place to take it. And then Corey Perry of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He is a phenomenal player. I think we can take his shots on goal over 2.5. We're getting plus money on that. I can see these shots coming in. Tampa is going to want to flood the net on Igor Shesterkin. So, you guys, it's going to be a great game. I hope it is as exciting as of last night. But I find exciting games defensively as well, the hard-hitting games, and that's what we're expecting to see. It will be bizarre if this one comes out to be a high-scoring one. So just to recap, you guys, all my bets in this game tonight, and I just will after that. I'll look at your guys' comments. I see them all flooding in here, so appreciate you guys. I think the best way to take this game would be probably the New York Rangers for the full game. On that money line, I think the value at +110. I then would sprinkle on the reverse puck line for the New York Rangers in the first period at -0.5 at +187. Shesterkin save goals over 28.5 and the first period under 1.5. All the best in all your bets. Keep smiling and let's make some freaking money.